Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you how to change your coil in your big baby beast here. It's the same as doing it in the Cloud Beast or the baby beast. It's identical, same setup. It's even the same coils as your baby beast. 510 just kind of moved around a little bit there. A little pin at the bottom. For starters, this is what it is. I've already taken the old coil out, cleaned the tank. I highly recommend that. I just rinse it under water and then take just a piece of paper towel, get all the water out, let it sit for a little bit to dry out. Then you got a nice clean looking tank, everything's clean. I fully disassemble it. Usually it would be like this, you would just unscrew it and then this will pop off. Sometimes the coil stays in the bottom. Today the coil actually stuck onto the top. I'm not really sure what causes that. And then you can just take your glass, pop it off, and you're left with just the bottom here. Now I've already had this coil soaking, so you take your coil and you screw it into the bottom here. It's a little slippery though. One thing I have noticed with the smock coils, more or less for the baby beast and this one, the big baby, they like to cross thread. It's not too hard to cross thread them. You got to make sure those coils are on straight and all the way down. You don't need to over tighten them. Be careful with that. If you're not tight enough, you will notice a lot of leaking through your little air holes here. Your juice will just kind of drip down through the seal here and come out the air holes. It's messy. Do your best to avoid that, just to make sure your coil is tightened. But if you over tighten it, you may have a hard time getting it apart when you go to take it apart next time. So the next thing you want to do is you want to take your juice, you want to drip it inside the middle, then you want to cover each hole. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Just want to make sure I do it. So I'm using the Q2, which is a single coil, but if you're using the X4 or whatever, you want to... Sorry, the camera fell. You want to make sure you're getting all in here. All the white, that's cotton. You want to make sure that's all soaked before you use it. And then it helps if you just take a little bit of juice and you cover or fill in like these little slots here. On the side right there. You just take your bottle, go along the side like this and just squeeze it a little bit. Get a little bit wet. Your next step is going to be to take your glass, put it on, take your top, screw it on. You don't need to be super tight with it. And then you screw it onto your mod. Again, you don't need to be super tight. Just, you don't want to lose, but then take your top and you just twist it. And it opens like that. And you got your little juice hole right here. Hard to see, but you stick your bottle in there and you just dump it in. Now you want to make sure you let that sit there exactly like this, juice in the tank, for approximately 5 minutes. One thing that I actually did forget to do is sometimes I'll take a pin and I'll poke a few little holes in the side of the cotton just to help the juice get through the cotton. I do find that smock packs of cotton a little too tight. I do that just to extend the life of the coils, but that's all personal preference. Something you need to try on your own. You really want to make sure you're not getting big holes, so I use a little safety pin. Just trying to kill a little time while that goes. On the sides of the coils, you'll read the big smock, and you'll read, for this one, it's 0.4 ohms. The ohm symbol looks like a horseshoe kind of deal. Just I know for the Alien here, the ohms won't reset when you put on a new tank. You have to take the batteries out and it'll reset. It'll ask you for a new coil. You say yes. You want to always make sure that your ohms are close to what your coil says they should be. Mine's reading 0.401, so it's extremely close. And on the Alien, I have the ability to go through and actually change it to 0.400 exactly, locking into that. I assume it's to extend the life of the coil a little more, but with smart coils, you're going to get good at changing them. They don't always last that long. It's unfortunate, but the next thing you want to do is I don't even worry about what it says that it's good for. This one's 40 to 80. I stick between what it's best at, so 55 to 65. I'll start it off at 55 watts, take 10 puffs or whatever, go up and 2 or 3 watts at a time, just to break in the coil. You'll find your sweet spot where you like it, and every juice I even find is different. Once you find that spot, that's where you can keep it at. And one thing about smart coils, again, if you get that burnt taste in them once, the coil might as well be thrown out. It's ruined. In my opinion, some people can tolerate it. If your juice gets low, you'll get a little bit of a funny taste. That's your coil starting to burn. Well, I guess your cotton starting to burn inside the coil. At that point, in my opinion, just throw it out. I try to avoid that by keeping at least half a tank of juice in my tank at all times, and if I do happen to want to switch flavors, I'll dump out what's left, or I'll just mix. So let's say I have this one here. This juice is a lemon donut, and I want to put in, I don't know, what's the juice over there? Skittles. If I want to put in a Skittles juice, I'll let it get down to about half. I'll add the Skittles. And once it gets down to half again, I'll add more Skittles. That way I'm never going below half. I'm not throwing juice out. But if I'm doing a big drastic change, I will just dump it out. Or even, I have a couple setups going here. I'll choose one of them. So because I had my coil pre-soaking before I even started this video, and I think I've been going on long enough now, give her just a few little tries. You will have the new cotton taste for, I don't know, 10 puffs or whatever. That's normally what I have or notice. So that was a few puffs at 55. I'm going to be brave and jump it up to 60 right away. I know I just recommended you break the coil in at 55 or even lower, but I'm going to try at 60 already. Just, it's me sacrificing my coil, not you. Now, I do find the Big Baby has a much better flavor than the original Baby. Really, that's about it. It's obviously I think it's got a bigger holding tank for juice. I'm not sure. I haven't even done the research. Really, I think that's about it. Just make sure that those coils are soaked in. If not, you could get about 2 hours if you don't let them soak properly. And like I said, you get that burnt taste once, your coil's toast. You can't get the flavor out. It is terrible at that point. Anyways, guys, I hope this video helped you. So have a good one, guys.